Bills safety Damar Hamlin made a tackle and then collapsed, and they had to put him on oxygen and give him CPR, and then got transported via ambulance off the field. He's a tier 1 Zerker in the resub Baraka, Dickles, Epic, Blitzed, Chevy, and the bits PP and Joel. And Samurai in the resub Big Ed, and Quickscope, and the bits Eevee. Bills player just had a heart attack on live TV. Not what happened. Wasn't a heart attack. It seemed to be the result of the impact. Quite a few people in chat said that it was a direct hit to his chest, which obviously is dangerous for the heart. But I don't think it was a heart attack. Looking at it from this other angle, it absolutely does look like a really hard hit to the chest. So I'm inclined to believe that's what it is. NFL is saying the game should continue. I don't really have a horse in the race on what the proper protocol should be here. I've usually erred on the side of if there's like an inactivity fatality, it's a pretty good excuse to suspend it, because obviously then no one's going to be focused on the game or the event. Example, when the WWE suspended that guy, I think his name was Ken Hart, blanking on his name, for one of their pay-per-view events or something. They had the guy suspended. The suspension broke, he fell, and died on impact. They ended up continuing that event, and I still think that was tasteless. Owen Hart. Thank you, Owen Hart. Yeah, I don't know if this is reliable. I haven't seen this anywhere, but there's a decent chunk of people that keep saying he has a pulse but isn't breathing on his own as the latest update. I don't see that in any of these. NFL doesn't do shit. They don't do a great job, I agree, but I also think it's at a point where there's not a whole lot they can do because fans are already upset. Like, I see so many brain dead takes on Twitter about how helmet to helmet should be legal. They know what they signed up for, it's the risk they take, so they should be able to do full helmet to helmet whatever to get the job done. Like, they've already like legitimately dehumanized every football player, making it sound like it's the goddamn Roman Coliseum as opposed to a sport now. So I don't think there's anything the NFL can do now to make it like safer without even more outrage. It wasn't helmet to helmet. No, this wasn't. No, I know, not with the Bills player. I'm saying, I'm just giving like a general Twitter take. No, it wasn't a helmet to helmet. It really wasn't at all. It just looks like really unfortunate placement on that impact since it went right to his chest. Like, hard to his chest. These are the resub. Alaba, BMD, Vibes, Marismo, and the Prime Flay, and Gift Sub Saints, the Prime Socks. Jesus. That's awful, man. I remember, God, how many years now? It's been a long time since I've seen something like that in football. And the last time I saw that was in arena football. Wide receiver caught the pass, touchdown, got pushed, which is it was a legal play. It wasn't like a dirty hit. Got pushed while he was up in the air when he caught the ball, landed, and then he snapped his head on the padding at the back of the end zone. Killed him. I haven't seen like a legitimately potentially fatal situation in football since that. Yeah, it was arena football. I don't remember the player though. Yeah, he died from it. He's a tier 1 anxiety in the resub Shenanigans, Despicable, Luna, and the Prime Alpha. And the resub Bua. If he does die, do you think the other player would get charged? No, absolutely not. What? No, of course not. Appreciate the 10 gift subs, Marl Smo. Thank you for that. And the resub Pocket and gift sub Pablo and Prime Hans. Goddamn, what the fuck? Who is Skip? Goddamn clown is what he is. Not exactly sure what happened to Damar Hamlin. Players on both teams are shaken. Ambulance out on the field. CPR administered. Can't remember play being stopped for this length of time. Just said a prayer for him and his family. Seen so many horrific injuries suffered on football fields, yet never have I seen a reaction like this. In every other situation I witnessed or covered, the game always went on fairly quickly. The attitude was, hey, that's football. For these players, this was different. No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of the game, but how? This late in the season? A game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. It's not, I mean, this isn't like the worst thing I've ever seen, especially not from Skip. He's a little too focused on the game itself as opposed to whether or not the player survives, but for Skip, I mean, Jesus, this is about the best his brain can cook up. Thanks to the resub Trinket, Shimmy, Huge Capacity, Ryland, Blitzer, Stigley in the prime, Cake, Hubba, and Soap. And the resublution and Woody. And Psylogin and Mongi and Lectrix. Nah, I'm definitely not going to be pulling up the clip, obviously. I mean, that could be... It could be fatal. Right now, apparently he has a pulse but can't breathe on his own at the moment. Apparently he also just got to the hospital. Yeah, I keep seeing people say that in chat about Ken Block. I haven't looked it up yet. Rally car driver Ken Block dead at 55, a snowmobile accident. Holy shit, this happened at the exact same posting as the Damar Hamlin situation. 26 minutes ago. What the fuck? What just happened? Was there like a blood sacrifice done on TikTok or something? Jesus Christ. Internal bleeding, his ribs piercing the heart. No, do you not... You guys have never seen or heard about those things happening? If you get hit hard enough in the chest, you can just die from it. Pretty quickly, too. I don't know, like, the exact anatomical explanation for how it all plays out, but if you take a big impact to your chest, you can just straight die, like, almost immediately. Yeah, but I don't think that's what usually happens, T-Chon. As far as I know, you can have your heart get pierced by the extrusion on the breastplate of the rib cage that if hit hard enough could break or bend into the heart or around that region. Like, I'm sure that's a very real thing. I imagine that's something that can happen in car accidents. But in a hit like that, I don't necessarily think that's what happens. Yeah, I just read about Ken Block as well. When was the last time someone died in a football game? Like I said, the only one that I know of was probably over a decade ago, and it was Arena Football League. How about this? I also remember a college football player who, on a kickoff, went for, I think it was a block. He delivered a great block, and he paralyzed himself instantly. But outside of that, in the arena football player, I don't think there's been any. Well, in 1905, there was one. Here, how about NFL? Because I don't think there's ever been an NFL on-field football death. Chuck Hughes. Chuck Hughes was an American football player, a wide receiver in the NFL from 1967 to 1971, and he is, to date, the only player to have died on the field during a game. The Lions hosted the Bears at Tiger Stadium late in the fourth quarter, Detroit trailing 28-23. Lions were driving into Chicago territory, and Hughes entered the game as an injury replacement. Caught a pass for 32 yards, and three plays later, Landry threw a pass to tight end Charlie Sanders, dropped near the end zone. Hughes, a decoy for the play, began running back to the huddle with 1 minute showing on the clock. Suddenly, he dropped to the turf, clutching his chest around the 20-yard line. Hughes collapsed near the Bears linebacker Dick Butkus, who saw him begin to convulse violently on the field. Butkus motioned to the sideline frantically to get Hughes assistance. He was pronounced dead at 5:34 p.m. that afternoon. The game was played to its conclusion in front of the now stunned silent crowd at Tiger Stadium. He was suffering from an undiagnosed and advanced arteriosclerosis, and that he had a family history of heart disease. The direct cause of death was coronary thrombosis. You don't see this kind of injury in any other sport. Well, I mean, you can... I get the point you're trying to make, but you still see plenty of comparably horrible injuries that happen in other sports as well. Like hockey. Chat immediately went to hockey. Shit, in hockey there's been 2 cases of people having their fucking throat slit by the skates. There's that very famous clip now where the goalie gets collided with by 2 players, I think it was, and one of them, their skate went up and sliced his fucking net. Like, cut his jugular. I think it was his dad. His dad had to pinch his arteries together in order to save his life. Might not have been his dad. Might have been just the actual team medic. I don't remember now. I'm very foggy on it. But you see comparably horrible injuries in other sports as well. That's not to defend NFL and the way they cover up concussions and all that shit. But I'm just saying, this isn't like isolated. Every sport has their risk of very serious injury. It was a trainer. Was it? Yeah, like I said, I was a little spotty on it. Oh, you know who it was that did something very similar and was their dad? It was Kentucky Ballistics when his rifle exploded. It severed his jugular, right? I think it was his jugular. It severed something very important in his neck, and his dad had to pinch it for him. And then on the way to the hospital, Kentucky Ballistics took over. I got the wires crossed. He put a thumb in it. Yep. But his dad took over first, right? Didn't his dad pinch it, and then on the way to the hospital, he told Kentucky Ballistics to do it himself, so that way he could drive? Wasn't that it? That was the story, right? No, he did it himself, but on the way to the hospital, his dad was the one that rushed over. But yeah, on the way to the hospital, Kentucky put his thumb in it and held it down. I remember he told the story about his family and like how he had to like push it into his neck like with his other arm, like really tight. Fuck, that's terrifying. Scary thing is, TBI can manifest in nastier shit later. In your case, a bad tackle led to 2 strokes. Holy shit. I mean, head injuries are nothing to fuck around with, man. It's terrifying. Resub Vinny. How old is he? Damar Hamlin? I think he's 28. No, maybe not. Let's see. 24. Is resub